Welcome back, Soul Fam, to another episode of Ancestral Wisdom, Journeying Through the Hoodoo Tarot. But first, if you haven't followed me already, hit that follow button, and don't forget to like, comment, and follow for more videos like this. But on this part of the journey, we are going to be tapping into the energy of this card here, which is the Aunt Caroline, and she represents the Wheel of Fortune. But before we get into all that, let me give you a few examples of why the Hoodoo Tarot is a good deck to learn from. The Hoodoo Tarot is a great deck to help you learn about Hoodoo and African American culture. It comes with this very informative guidebook right here. Each tarot card, specifically the Major Arcana, which is also known as the Elders, connects to a specific Hoodoo practitioner. They are part of the grand ancestral line that makes up Black Americans. Which takes us into our first card here, Aunt Caroline. So if you have the Hoodoo Tarot, go ahead and grab it. If you don't worry about it. Or just grab a pen and paper, because we are getting ready to dive deep into Aunt Caroline, which is the Wheel of Fortune. So like I mentioned before, Aunt Caroline actually represents the Wheel of Fortune in the traditional tarot. But in the Hoodoo Tarot, the meaning for this particular card, it indicates that fate is a factor regarding whatever you are inquiring about. It lets you know that everything turns out exactly how it's supposed to be. And it also teaches us that we cannot escape karma, because the Wheel of Fortune is always turning, okay? So as you put out, you will receive, okay? So as above, so below, okay? What goes around comes around. And this is definitely one of the karma cards in the traditional tarot. Other meanings for this card is your luck is about to change. This was fated. Miracles happen every day. And do you respect and understand the cycle of life? Now, since we covered all that, let me give you a little backstory of Aunt Caroline Dye. In 1843, Aunt Caroline was born into slavery in South Carolina before she was relocated with her parents to Arkansas, where she died in 1918. Now, I might be reaching with this next part here, but let me show you something. So like I mentioned in a previous video, last year I did an ancestry DNA test where I began researching where my ancestors that were primarily located in Africa migrated to. And during my research, I discovered that a lot of my ancestors migrated to Louisiana and what does it say there? Arkansas. Now, like I said, I could be reaching, but if you know anything about the Wheel of Fortune, you know that there are no coincidences. Now, let's get back to Miss Caroline here. Caroline became aware of her spiritual gifts at a very young age, when she realized she could see things that others couldn't. But after being freed in 1865, she married, and that's when she began her work as a cardiomancer. Playing cards was her specialty. Caroline used cards to divine on matters such as business moves, missing people and items, and also livestock. Now let me school you on the difference between cardiomancer and cardomancy. So a cardomancer is someone who reads a deck like this, and they typically read the standard 52 to 32 traditional playing cards in their readings. And cardomancy, which is what I do, is the practice of reading either oracle cards or tarot cards. So as a result of all this, Caroline quickly got a reputation as a very trusted, effective, and reliable counselor. Her clients were racially diverse and would travel for miles seeking out her services. For a matter of fact, she was so popular that in the Mid-South, a train heading to her region was named the Caroline Dye Special. Now, this card right here is actually another card of the Hoodoo Tarot, of course, but this is Railroad Bill, and that represents the chariot in the traditional tarot. Initially, Caroline didn't charge for her services, but people insisted on paying her. And Caroline, being the conjurer woman that she is, she also generated another income for cooking and selling plates to her clients that were waiting to see her. So you know what Caroline did? She flipped that money and started investing in property and land. It was said that Caroline was very wealthy and that she had some hidden treasure that till this day no one has been able to find. But this video is already getting kind of long. And if you haven't followed me yet, go ahead and hit that follow button. But join me for part 2 as we dive deeper into the Aunt Caroline card, which is the Wheel of Fortune.